And I'm noticing that specifically a few of our really lovely colleagues have been feeling in a real hole. I'm just wondering if any of you have been sort of in that situation where you've had moments where you've felt really quite isolated.
Well, I can say I did last week. Last week was a very bad week for me. But I think now that we've gone into stage 4, and it's just depressing. I haven't been able to work since March. So that's depressing. But anyway, another 6 weeks will take us through to the middle of September. So hopefully then, although I've just seen the numbers for today, it's another 700. So, but I sort of feel better now we're in stage 4 because maybe we're doing something. But yes, I didn't have a great week last week, but that's okay. Onwards and upwards. And I think part of it too is just being able to accept that not every day is going to be great. And we're allowed to be flat and allowed to have not so long as the next day we get up and get going. Back on the horse.
Well, we are pack animals, you know, when you think about it. We do need connection. This forced isolation doesn't come easily for most of us, really.
I'm not depressed. I'm working on now how fashion will change. Yesterday, I went to David Jones and Myers, and I saw a lot of useless, ugly dresses and accessories, and so I don't know. People who were around, a few, they were wearing gym gears in David Jones. So my European mind is that we have to help the world, image consultants, to change that fashion type, what we wear every day. The smart casual and the gym, something in between, what we can wear all day long. That's a project. I don't know how to start. So I got it yesterday. And I am browsing now the world's fashion designers. They are just stupid. They have unusable imaginary fashion. So we have to work out how we dress up and not really, and still elegantly going out.
You know, I know that when I go out for a morning walk and then I come back and I think, oh, I'll just get this done or I'll get that done first. You know, this is sitting at my computer. And then I find at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm still sitting there in my, you know, walking gear and, you know, not having had a shower or anything. And I'm thinking, I've got to stop this. I'm stopping this right now, because I realized that it was just too easy to get distracted as well. I wasn't really, really focused on work. And I find that when I do get dressed with a specific outcome in mind, I know what I want to achieve for the day, I just seem to be more efficient. I don't know what it is, but it's like that little context that I've set that I am now at work. It sets a different mindset as well.
You have to allow yourself to be slack sometimes, but consciously. So you can tell that, okay, I live out this day, I am in pyjama all day long, and change pajamas. So that's all right. But sometimes work out something new.
I was just going to say, what I've done is, because we're in stage 4 for the next 6 weeks, so I decided on Instagram that this week is the week of sequins. I can't remember what I made next week. Anyway, so each week I've got a theme, and I've said to everybody, follow me, that's following me, you know, you wear sequins too, and tag me, and we'll share, fill Instagram up with the joy sequins this week. And yeah, so it's just a bit of fun, but yeah, it keeps me on the straight and narrow. This week, sequins. Next week, animal prints. Week 3, tartan. Week 4, party shoes. Week 5, dress up or dress down. at week 6, I've got question marks, and then I've said to people, tell me what you think we should be doing in week 6. And I've had all these really good suggestions for what we should be doing. So I think what I'm going to have to do on week 6 is to do day by day a different thing, so that everybody that's suggested something can have their moment in the sun.
Do you use Canva, Suzanne?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think I had Canva at one stage.
I was going to just suggest that you actually make your week by week thing like a graphic post on its own, like a little poster that says, you know, week 1, blah, week, so that it's kind of in your wall feed as a graphic. So then it's in people's minds.
Okay. Oh, that's a very good idea. Okay, I might do that. I could just whip up something.
You could
on PowerPoint or something.
PowerPoint and just, you know, save it as a JPEG and post it up on Insta.
Post it up. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, I like that idea. Okay.
And then it's on your wall, so you know it's visible.
Canva's really good though, because it gives you a lot more flexibility in relation to the design.
It's for anyone that wants to jazz up their social media. It's a great little design tool for non-designers. CANVA, and it was started by an Australian woman, and it's taken over the world, and she's, you know, it's gone absolutely gangbusters. Take your own photos and images and bring them in, and then overlay funky text to it and create all kinds of stuff. And it's actually very easy to use. It's quite intuitive and quite easy to use. And it's got preset templates, so you can so it's already determined the size. You could just go in and select Instagram, you know, post, Facebook post, poster, invitations, all kinds of stuff. Worth having a little look at. I mean, I use it, and I've got Photoshop and Illustrator and InDesign and all the professional tools. But if I just want to do something quick, you know, that I don't want to have to spend time working out the dimensions or the whatever, it's great.
You know, talking about connectedness, you know, even just this weekly on our groups is, you know, one of the really nice ways to stay connected, because there's always tips and tricks that we're always sharing. I mean, even just knowing about Canva now, you know, for anyone that didn't know about that, that is brilliant. And another thing too, to keep occupied, I'm thinking, get appy. Start, you know, checking out some of the apps that you hear other people use. Emma, you've got a whole, you know, arsenal of apps that you love using.
Well, I do, and I think this is, and actually I'll tell you one that's not a productivity one, but is a really good one, and I think I put Evelyn onto this. I'll put it in the chat as well. And it's like a little game thing you can play on your phone or your iPad, and it's called I Love Hue, H-U-E, as in colour. And it's great if you're in, you know, if you're feeling just a bit stagnant or a bit stuck and your brain just needs some time out to reset. So research shows if you step away from an activity and you just get into a flow state and you let your brain percolate on an idea or come up with a concept or just give it a bit of rest, you know, it's like just letting your brain just have a little bit of a rest. This is a great little app if you're into colour, and so it's great if you're a colour consultant to focus and train your colour acuity. So this little app, I Love Hue, so I'm going to put in the chat, free little download thing. It does have ads in it, but beware, it is quite addictive. And it asks you to match and harmonise colours. It's sort of a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, but just with squares of colour. So something like that is a simple little, you know, you can say, right, I'm going to have 15 minutes just playing on this and just giving myself some downtime. And often when the brain is in that flow state, then, you know, it's like hitting the reset button or hitting the refresh button, and little ideas pop up and you come back to your work or back to whatever you were doing and you feel refreshed and your brain can start thinking again. this is a perfect opportunity, whether you're actually still working with clients or that's all dried up. This is a perfect opportunity. It's like, to me, it's like that week between Christmas and New Year where there's no demands on your time and you have the opportunity to really look at your business and look at yourself. So you might do some self-improvement things, or you might be looking at your business and thinking, all right, here's time for me to, all those ideas and plans that I think that you think of, but you haven't got time to do in the everyday when you've booked with clients every day, or you're working on things, or you've got to deliver things. This is a great time to just go, what do I want to be when I grow up? Where am I going to take my business? What am I doing with it? What's my purpose? What's my reason for getting up in the morning and getting dressed? Because I think if you've got a purpose, it makes it that much easier to have the motivation. And sure, not every day is going to be fabulous. And I do think self-care is important as well. So there are going to be times where you just go, no, I'm not playing today. I'm just not. I'm not in the headspace. I'm not in the mood. Those days where you think, I don't want to play, but then you sit around and do nothing and you get in a funk. So it's sort of make a conscious decision to do something for you. Think of something you really love, whether it's going for a walk, listening to music. I mean, a friend said to me the other day, we were talking about this and I was in a bit of a, and she said, oh, what was the last, bit of music that you really love that you listened to? And I said, wow, I couldn't even tell you the last time I just put some music on and, totally immersed myself in it. Sometimes it's just a matter of, I'm not focusing on anything business related today. I'm just taking care of me and nurturing me.
We've done with the girls that I walk with in the morning, in our groups of 2. Every 2 weeks, we do a Saturday afternoon painting session via Zoom. And it's very funny. Very funny. We've got to have wine is compulsory, wine and snacks. And then we're all sitting there. And this, on the 15th, our next one. And we've got terracotta pots that we have to paint. We've all got a terracotta pot.
Fabulous.
We're going to so you can do fun things like that too, and it's funny. It's not something I would normally do, but oh boy, did we laugh our legs off when we did our canvases the other day. So yeah,
but successful people, they do only focus on the things that they've got control over, and and really, even though we're told that we've got to stay. There's a lot of restrictions now. We've still got control over a lot of things. Let's face it. You're the one that decides when to get up, if you're going to exercise or not. If to delve into a hobby if you've got one, or find a hobby that you've always thought about but just didn't get moving on it. I've asked them how they've been, and a lot of them are just not really doing very well. Tell me what would be an ideal day for you, and even having them think about that. They've realised that they've got a lot more things that they could actually do or make happen because they've got control over those things.
I do think that's part of what I was just talking about before is a purpose or an outcome or some kind of reason to get up. And if you don't identify what it is you want or what you want to be doing, then I think that kind of leaves the way open, and it's a bit of a victim mentality. It's a bit of a, oh, well, poor me. I don't, there's nothing going on. I've got no clients. I've got no work. Or you can say, well, actually, what I would really like to be doing. So like Evelyn said, my ideal day is this. So construct that. Start kind of building the picture of what you want things to be. Otherwise, you just, leave it up to the elements to create your reality for you, and it might not be what you want.
No, you've really got to design your day. But on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you place yourself on the, the motivation for getting stuff done? I'm at around about an 8 at the moment. I'm really motivated to get a lot of things completed. So where would you be, Alona, at the moment on motivation?
6.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going with the flow, living with the what so, and watching.
Mm.
That's all. And it is afternoon, 2 o'clock, and I start to study Spanish.
Mm.
I started to start Spanish on the day when ScoMo announced the lockdown, that every day I learn Spanish. There will be nobody I can talk Spanish with because they die out in Spain by the time. But that's it. I have a shelf full of motivation books, and I just looked at the secret to this and that, and hard. And it's hard nowadays to start to think positive when everybody thinks that negative is the good, not positive.
Mm.
And law of attraction. So we have to get back in mind
Mm.
to the normal life.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, I use pen and paper and I plan the next day in the evening, just like that. Manicure, pedicure, wash my hair, and all this stuff. I put down everything, and you will see that you do something every minute.
Mm.
So you are not just useless and I do nothing,
That's right.
because it's impossible to do nothing.
It's very easy for us to slip into that feeling of depressed and I'm out of control with this and what am I going to do? No, you are in control of the thoughts that you give. Nobody can make you unhappy. Nobody can make you sad. Nobody can actually do any. It's what you do with what's surrounding you at the moment is what will make you either unhappy or not. So choose to be happy. So Emma, how are you on your scale of 0 to 10? I would imagine you're up at past 11.
I still maintain, I've said this right from the beginning, all these people say, oh, I've got, nothing to fill my days and I'm, so bored. And I'm thinking, WTF? I have lists upon lists upon lists of things to be doing, whether they're self-generated, because there's lots of things I look around and think, I'm business planning, I'm doing development, I'm making time for some meditation, I'm reading. So my ideal day is I get up without an alarm. There's one thing I loathe, and it's waking up to an alarm. And I have managed to not wake up to alarm for most of the last 12 years. So I do that. And I kind of try and listen to my body. So if I need more sleep, I sleep longer. If I, wake up and I'm full of ideas, well, then I get up and start doing things. I like to have time, so I take a couple of hours in the morning, and that's my time for reading and catching up on things. So I read business books or development books or things in the morning. I have my coffee, I sit in the sun, get my vitamin D dose for the day, and I read. And that's my little buffer zone into the day. Get dressed, and I come into my office and I work out what needs to be done. I have a list of things that need to be done that day on my desk, and I also have a whiteboard that is my longer term things, because I find if everything is in my head, number one, it's stressful, and number two, I forget things. So everything that's kind of, whether it's short term, medium term, longer term, goes on the whiteboard, and then I translate from that what needs to be done in any given day.
And that's what you've got control over. Whereas the things that we haven't got control over are things like the weather or, what's happening with the current situation around COVID. They're the things we haven't got control over. So don't worry about that. That's outside our circle of influence. Let's stay with whatever we can do.
If you're a passenger and not a driver, then you end up going wherever it takes you. Whereas if you're the driver, you get to choose. So you get to choose what you do, how you feel, how you, you know, look after yourself, how you interact with others. And I think that's a much more empowered position to come from than, you know, the passenger position where you just get taken wherever life takes you. And some of it might be good, but some of it might be crap.
And so you, Suzanne, so yes, on a scale of 1 to 10, your area of motivation, where are you?
Last week I was about a 5, but this week I'm back up at about a 7. Up about a 7 this week. So I've picked myself back up and I'm off and running again. So I get up at 6 because we've got no gyms or anything here. Or normally I'm up at 5 if I've got to go to the gym, but no gyms means that I can sleep until 6. And then I meet the girls down at the park and we walk around there in our groups of 2. And then I get coffee on the way home. And then I sit up and go through and clear all my emails and things whilst I have a coffee. And then I jump in the shower, get dressed, and then I come in and I start my day, whatever that might look like.
And even that idea of getting dressed and putting on something, because I would imagine that everything that you wear, Suzanne, is something that's going to either motivate you or inspire you, or it just gets you into that mood for the thing that you want to achieve that day. Incidentally, I love that yellow on you. And tell me, when are you going to get that fabulous trench coat back from...
I can't get it now because we're not allowed to leave. We're only allowed 5 kilometres home. So I can't get it. So there we go. Alfia doesn't want to post it, and I don't really want it in the mail either, so that's okay. And I actually want to see, and then Kim suggested that she could maybe go and get it and bring it to me. But then I said, no, that's not right. I want Alfia to give it to me. I want to put it on. I want to do, So no, it just means I've just got to wait 6 weeks. So be it.
It makes it something to look forward to.
Yeah,
that's right. And it's not as if I've got anywhere to wear it for the next 6 weeks anyway. No, I just didn't wear it the way it was. And funnily enough, Evelyn, Linda Buckman messaged me the other day and said, would you believe I've got a Burberry trench I hardly wear? So I said, well, there you go. I said, you just mail it on over to Alfia and she'll transform it into something amazing.
Oh, I've got to ask Louise. Louise, I'm just going to unmute you there. So we've just been sort of getting this idea of how motivated we are feeling on a sort of an average day on a scale of 1 to 10. You know, this is about designing the day that you want to have and making sure that you get through what you want to get through. So Louise, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on that scale relating to motivation each day?
I think I vary a lot. I get up and go for a walk as often as I can, but 6 or 7, it depends if there's something going on. I suppose I've just had my daughter home for 2 weeks from New York, who I haven't seen for 6 months, so there's a little bit of a distraction. But I've been writing, I've been doing different sorts of things. I put together an online process, get someone to help me do it more professionally. I've been working on PowerPoints, which I'm really happy with, and I guess I'm quite motivated, and I guess it's given me time to sort of think about where I want to apply or what I like to do. I find it difficult to get one-on-one people, so I've really been thinking about doing more workshop things like that, and I've been developing programs and things like that. So yes, my problem is the structure or the notes. Like Emma said, you know, whiteboard. I laminated all these sheets of paper, you know, to break things down, but that doesn't work for me. To try and find a system of putting order into your day is really important, and I'm so bad at that.
One of the things that I learned this trick, and I know Emma knows it as well, is just using different size Post-its.
I was thinking that as Emma said that, because the laminated pieces of paper that I did, when I drew the texture on and I bought all the textures and things, they didn't wipe off properly. So I just have this mess. It's like a school painting. So I was just thinking when Emma said that, I've got in my drawer here Post-its, and I might just do that because I've got lists
Yeah.
everywhere and I just get confused.
With any program that I've designed, I just have my headings in the big post-it notes, and then the smaller ones with the subheadings, and then the little ones with every topic that I want to actually create in that section. And the good thing about it with Post-its is too, you know, you've got a wardrobe or a wall, or it doesn't matter what it is, but having it up there and just leaving it there, even for days on end, where you can come back to it and look at it, and then you can move things around a bit. So even if there's a topic that you need to cover off in, say, one section, you write it up again and put that same topic in the next set of Post-its down. And that's really helped me a lot, you know, just to focus my brain on what I need to cover in a particular, you know, training. Because, and the good thing is that you think, well, okay, look, I thought I was going to cover that there, but I'm going to move that down a little bit. So yeah, and just leave it up on your wall until you're ready to transpose it over onto a, you know, some sort of run sheet. So it really just makes it so much easier, Noni, if you want to design a program. It just clears your mind of everything. And, you know, it's like a brain dump. You can just put it all out there, and nothing's stuck in whatever you've written down. If you're doing it in a rote fashion, it means you're scrubbing out, you're trying to move something, you've got arrows going everywhere. And then, of course, you can, being a Post-it, you can just move things around. Yeah.
More like a mood board, which is more that kind of bigger level conceptualizing, which is something I'd like to pick up on also, I think, is a really good opportunity. So, Louise, you were just talking about one-on-one versus group things. This time, I think, is a really good opportunity to really assess what it is you like doing and what you want to be doing, because you know, when we're in the busyness of everyday life and you've got a million things on, and you don't get the luxury of that time to sit. And sometimes I think there's a lot of things we think we should be doing. Well, I should be offering all these services because that's what an image consultant does. Rubbish. It's your business. We're all doing this because we would rather be working for ourselves and on our own terms than for someone else. So it's a great opportunity to sit down and look at those things and think to yourself, okay, these are all the things I really love doing. These things give me a real charge, and you know, that passion shines through. And when that passion shines through, the work follows and clients pick up on it and are drawn to you. And it's coming from a place of intention versus that list of should do's. You know, I should do this and I should offer this and I should be doing that. Who says? Just because other people do that doesn't mean you should be doing it if it's not something you enjoy. So great opportunity to sit down and go, well, you know what, actually I prefer groups instead of one-to-one, or I prefer, you know, working remotely instead of face-to-face, or I want to do more one-to-ones instead of big groups. Well, great. Design a way, work out first what you want, and then second, design a way to make that happen, because it's your business. Why not?
Who would be good? You might be the person, Em. Would it be a good session to do creating a mood board?
Yeah.
If we did that, because we could do that as a session, creating a mood board, and go through how to create it, and then maybe we could have a follow-up session where people say, this is my mood board, this is where I was going with it. And if we gave everybody 10 minutes or something, what do you think?
I've got a great exercise for that. So one thing that I've been doing much more of since we've been in this kind of isolation thing is coaching. I've really picked up the coaching side of my business. It's something I really enjoy doing. And one of the things that I think is really important for solopreneurs or entrepreneurs is to define what your passion and your purpose is. Because if you don't know that, then how can you set an intention or a direction? So actually, I've got a great little exercise that we could send out that people could do, and then we could follow it up with a mood board session. So what did your exercise identify as key things that you really, you know, the things that make you want to jump out of bed in the morning? So if they're the things that you really, really love and you want to be doing, how can we help you set up your business so that you then you can do those things? You know, you have the kind of lifestyle that lets you do those things.
Good idea. Good idea. So do you want to post up on the tribe and this group here, Image Consultants United? Do you want to put that little exercise up there?
Sure.
Print out. And what, maybe next week, will it give them enough time to think about or do the process then before, say, next week, or do we need to do it a week later?
Well, that's up to the individual. It you know, it's something that you could sit down and do in probably more than 15 minutes, but I would allow maybe an hour to sit down and do that. But, you know, some people get so immersed in it they want to do more, and some people, you know, it depends on how you think and what you want to get out of it.
So I'm thinking though, from if you posted that up, would then next week would you be able to run something like that, like a follow up to that process or not?
Sure.
Right. Okay. Well,
yay! Well, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it does.
I'll put something in my diary.
Wow, something's in the diary. Well, I was really quite delighted that somebody actually rang me on wanting a gift voucher for their daughter, and then somebody else rang me and said that they wanted a wardrobe audit, and I said, look, let me just check on that. We've got a date in, but that might change too, where we can't meet anybody. But New South Wales is not quite at that stage, but we will definitely be following through with some of the social distancing and, you know, the constant washing of hands and things like that.
Masks. I think
masks
is going to be the next thing for us.
And have you girls all looked and seen the amazing masks that Marguerite's made?
I saw that she sent, she posted up, I think it was Instagram, some of her masks. I can't remember. I saw them though.
She's done some beautiful masks. And Andrea Nicholson, she's got some Frida Kahlo masks, Day of the Dead masks, and she's got some really cool masks too, and redressed. So some of my clever friends are doing really cool masks.
Well, I was thinking of taking a photo of my face and getting the photo of me printed onto fabric so that then you still see my face. You know what I mean? When I've got the mask on. I make sure I'm smiling.
I think someone's doing that in Sweden or
Alona.
There's a guy doing a mask printed with your own.
That's fantastic. Well, let's do it. Wouldn't that be fun? I reckon that would be really a great idea.
I think I've got 18 masks at the moment.
Yeah, well.
And given I'm not allowed to go anywhere, I've probably got my quota.
I've posted up on my Facebook, on my business Facebook page, I think I've done 3 posts in the last week or so with a list of where to get really nice, stylish fabric masks if you're looking for something other than just, you know, the old disposable paper version.
Oh, yes. But there is, they do say that if you could have incorporated into the mask some copper, because copper really does help to eliminate viruses. Viruses don't like copper. So if you have some sort of a copper mesh that's fairly wide, but you can breathe through it easily, that would be a really good thing. Somebody had actually posted up about that, having copper incorporated into your mask. Okay, well, now, isn't this interesting? You know, we get online, we girls, we can talk about lots of things, creating a positive experience every day for ourselves. We just got to know what we want, get the resources that we might need, you know, to be able to do what we want to do, and get support as well. Ask for it. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking, and then take action. We've just got to take action. You know, things don't happen on their own. We really do have to move our bodies to do it. I'm going to say bye-bye for now. Great to see you. Mwah. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, lovelies.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye-bye.